You are 30,000 feet in the air, cruising silently over the cold, gray waters of the Baltic Sea. Everything seems normal. The passengers are sleeping, cocooned in the hum of the jet engines. The coffee in the galley is warm, and the cabin lights are dimmed for a long, quiet haul across the European continent. But in the cockpit, the atmosphere has just turned ice cold. The navigation screens, the digital brain of your multi-million-dollar aircraft, begin to flicker with a rhythmic mechanical stutter. The GPS coordinates start to jump wildly across the globe. 1 second you are over Sweden, the next in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Then the screen goes black, as if the very concept of geography has been erased from the machine's memory. GPS lost glows in a haunting, pulsing red on the primary flight display. You haven't entered a storm. You haven't suffered a mechanical failure or a wiring short. You have simply entered the field of vision of Kaliningrad, the most dangerous digital void on the planet. The silence of the radar screens is more terrifying than any physical explosion. In this moment, the sky above the Baltic becomes a theater of ghosts, a place where every flight path is a vulnerability and every digital coordinate is a calculated lie. The ocean below, once a clear landmark for navigation, disappears into a fog of electronic interference. The leaders in the Kremlin know that in 20-20-6, a plane is just a data point, and if you control the data, you control the sky. In March 2026, pilots across the continent call this phenomenon the Baltic Stutter. It is a digital seizure affecting thousands of commercial flights every month, turning a routine journey into a high-stakes guessing game. Kaliningrad is a geographical anomaly, a Russian exclave trapped in the heart of Europe, surrounded by the steel ring of NATO territory. But its most powerful weapon isn't a nuclear missile or a mass tank division waiting at the border. It is an invisible wave that travels at the speed of light, erasing the map of the modern world and replacing it with a void. This is why the path to safety is no longer found in your sophisticated computer systems, but in the instincts of the pilot staring into the ancient, unyielding fog with nothing but experience to guide them. It is a one-way trip into a different era of human survival. Here, the glowing screens of the modern world are replaced by the stark, brutalist reality of navigating by the stars and the shape of the coastline. You are no longer flying a machine. You are fighting a phantom that cannot be seen or touched. The silence of the radar screens is more terrifying than any physical explosion. In this moment, the sky above the Baltic becomes a theater of ghosts, a place where every flight path is a vulnerability. The ocean below, once a clear landmark for navigation, disappears into a fog of electronic interference. Safety is no longer found in your sophisticated computer systems, but in the instincts of the pilot, staring into the ancient, unyielding fog. The culprit behind this digital chaos has a name that sounds almost innocent, almost domestic. Tobol. Hidden within the dense, dark forests of the exclave, the Tobol complex is a masterpiece of electronic paranoia in Soviet-era engineering. It doesn't shoot down planes with fire and metal. It simply whispers loud, aggressive lies into the ears of the satellites orbiting far above. The Tobol system creates a wall of electronic noise so loud that the GPS receivers on airplanes become deaf. They are blinded by the static of a secret war that most people on the ground don't even know is happening. The forest of Kaliningrad was once a symbol of Prussian beauty, a land of ancient oaks and royal hunting grounds. But under the surface of this historic landscape, the earth has been hollowed out and reinforced with lead and steel. These are the mechanical lungs of the Russian defense, breathing out waves of interference that can paralyze the navigation of an entire continent. Massive arrays of copper and high-voltage transmitters are buried deep, cooled by the damp earth of the Baltic coast. The forest of Kaliningrad was once a symbol of Prussian beauty, a land of ancient oaks and royal hunting grounds. But under the surface, the earth has been hollowed out and reinforced with lead and steel. Massive arrays of copper and high-voltage transmitters are buried deep, cooled by the damp earth of the Baltic coast. But there is something even more disturbing than the silence of a lost signal. It is called spoofing. They convince the airplane's computers that they are perfectly on course, even as the wind blows them toward restricted military airspace. In 2026, blind trust in technology has become the ultimate trap for the unwary. A pilot might think he is following a safe, internationally recognized corridor, while his aircraft is actually drifting toward the very edge of a global conflict. It is a manipulation of reality itself, where a few thousand watts of power can move an entire city on the digital map of the world. The physics of this digital deception are both fascinating and terrifying to those who understand the mechanics of the sky. It is a surgical manipulation of time and space, where the pulse of a Russian antenna can override the laws of navigation. The physics of this digital deception are a surgical manipulation of time and space, where a Russian antenna overrides the laws of navigation. Why would the Kremlin spend millions to blind airliners? The answer lies in 60 miles of forest known as the Suwalki Gap. By erasing the GPS signal here, Kaliningrad creates a dark zone, protecting the exclave from the eyes of the West. In this zone, NATO's smart missiles and high-tech drones lose their guidance and fall blind into the trees. Kaliningrad isn't just hiding its own secrets. It is ensuring that in the first hour of a conflict, the entire region becomes a digital fog of war where no one can see and no one can hit a target. This is the manifestation of modern invisible warfare, a subtle sabotage of the tools we use to trust our senses. The government knows that in 20-20-6, the most powerful weapon isn't the bomb that levels a city, but the pulse that deletes its memories and its ability to find its way home. The human cost of this electronic siege is a forced return to the analog past. They are using ground-based radio beacons and internal gyroscopes that were considered obsolete a decade ago. The flickering of the airplane's instruments is the sound of a civilization realizing that its digital compass, the tool we use for everything from banking to bombing, can be turned off with a single switch in a forest in Kaliningrad. Modern pilots, trained on touchscreens and satellite links, are being forced to relearn the survival skills of their grandfathers from the era of the Cold War. They are pulling out massive paper maps and relying on internal gyroscopes that were considered relics of a forgotten time. It is a forced regression into an analog world. Kaliningrad has proved that in the wars of 2026, information is more valuable than territory. The true Kaliningrad is an invisible fortress, an island of static in a vast sea of global data. The city you see on the old maps, the elegant spires of ancient Königsberg, and the brutalist apartment blocks of the Soviet era, is merely a decoy for the world to look at. The true Kaliningrad is an invisible fortress, an island of static in a vast sea of global data. It is a masterpiece of architectural and electronic paranoia, a monument to the fear and the strategic genius that has defined this region for generations. The more you try to see into the heart of the exclave, the more the signal fades into the dark, cold void of the Baltic. Would you have the courage to board a flight knowing that your plane could lose its way over the Baltic? Leave your answer in the comments below. Let us debate the terrifying fragility of our connected world and the price we pay for our digital convenience. Kaliningrad isn't the only place where a city hides its true face from the sky and the satellites. In the Pacific, another fortress has been built not with radio waves, but with 14 stories of solid volcanic granite hidden from the eyes of the world. To see how an entire government can disappear into an inverted skyscraper to survive the end of the world, watch our investigation right now, the 14th floor, where Taiwan's government disappears. The signal is fading. The 14th floor is waiting.